I learned a new way to replace batteries in old Pokemon games. As we all know, batteries in the first two generations of Pokemon games were necessary for saving because your in-game progression was stored in SRAM, aka static RAM, which needed constant power to preserve data. Luckily in Gen 3, even if the internal battery had run dry, the game could be played. However, clock-based events would no longer occur, which isn't too bad unless you like daily in-game events, like growing berries for example. Traditionally, there are two ways to fix this problem. One way would be to unsolder and solder in a new battery. Or the second way, the way I did it, was to rip the dead battery out of its tab and put in a new one pressed down with electric tape, which you should never do. Just avoid ever doing that. There is a high chance you can ruin something. So I was ready to pay someone to service my copy of Pokemon Emerald, and while browsing eBay, I found a very interesting listing. A store by the name of Charizard956 was offering a service to solder in a new battery tab holder in the older Pokemon games. This means you could just place a battery, in this case a CR1616, in that holder, and it would in turn power the SRAM, or in Gen 3, power the real-time clock, just like a stock battery. The benefit here is you can replace your battery if it runs out, without having to unsolder and solder in a new one. Now, CR1616 batteries last about a third as long as CR2525 batteries that these games traditionally use, but I feel this way puts my mind more at ease. The batteries are so close to the motherboard, and I'd hate for something to go wrong, ruining a game that costs almost half as much as a new Nintendo Switch 2. The eBay seller also serviced my other copy of Pokemon Emerald, and even my childhood copy of Pokemon Red, which sadly lost my original save data and team years ago. But I'm ready to make new memories on this, and I highly recommend you check out the seller. But if you want to DIY this instead, just search on eBay keywords Gameboy Tab Battery Holder. Even if you do replace your battery, you should always back up your save data and game ROM to your PC. It is your legal right after all, and in doing so, you just future-proofed your lovely Pokemon. Sometimes doom scrolling at midnight pays off because